This is REVOLT Sports Weekly, powered by I Am Athlete. Brandon Marshall, what we got going this week?
Yes. Listen, first I got to say this. As a sports fan, as a consumer of sports talk, this is the toughest time in media because there's no football. And I know we got the NBA, but Mike, you know this. You are a resident NBA insider.
Yeah.
Basketball season don't start until when?
End of March. Early April.
And we got Drake. Drake dropped. Drake.
Drake.
Is he back?
All right, y'all, the show starts now. Welcome to the show, y'all. I am Kayla, Nicole, and I've got my guys with me. As always, my teammates. We've got Mike Sims-Walker, Whoopi Goldberg.
Yes.
I'm happy to be here with y'all today.
Hey,
What's up?
Whoopi, how you feeling?
Whoopi.
What's up?
I know that y'all have gotten more sleep than me this month between Super Bowl, All-Star. I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
But how are y'all?
I'm good, man. I'm good. You know, I'm in the trenches with them kids, 7-on-7 season, so.
Big
I'm feeling
Daddy.
good. Shout out to Kayla. Kayla won Special Forces.
Yeah, hey,
Yes.
Give me my
I feel like
flowers.
we're gonna talk about this for another month.
For sure.
Yes. Maybe next
I
week.
feel like
give me
this could
flowers.
totally change the course of your career. Yeah, let's
Really?
get some flowers. We'll bring some flowers.
Yeah.
We'll
Thank
give you some
you.
real flowers. You know what? That's a good idea. But shout out to you. I'm feeling great to answer your question. But I feel like that got lost in the Super Bowl shuffle. Like all the media.
Correct.
Like that's a big deal.
Thank you.
is.
Right? Like, and when I think about reality TV, right? Like you see people go on, win these shows, whether it's Next Top, whatever, and then all these opportunities come. Don't get too big.
That's impressive, Kayla.
Put that out there.
You
Put that out there.
compete
Receive it.
against NFL players and
Yeah.
everything. That's impressive. And you
Yeah.
come out on top.
Last two standing, me and Brody Jenner. Y'all got to check out the show, Special Forces, if you haven't seen it
impressive.
already. It's on Hulu. But let's jump into some ball, y'all, okay? We are fresh off the 2025 NBA All-Star Weekend in the Bay, okay, area. And like every year, there was a fair share of criticism about the event. And as a fan of the game, I was there. I've had enough of it. And you know who does too?
Me.
KD. KD, he's sick of the criticism, okay? He took to Twitter. Twitter fingers got to tweeting. And he tweeted this to the fans. Y'all complain about everything. The only thing you enjoy, and I quote, he says, playoffs, trade deadlines, free agency, and when players beef with each other.
Yeah.
I feel like it's important to note too that the All-Star criticism wasn't just from fans, but from players as well. I'm gonna start with you, B, because you were very vocal about this NBA product, how bad it is, how boring it is.
Right.
So how do you feel about KD going at it with fans like this? Do you feel like it's fair, or is he lacking a little accountability?
No, he's not lacking accountability. I think this is a part of it. This is what we want as fans, right? When you think about the business that we're in, entertainment business, the drama is what sells, right? So everything that he highlighted, that's where the drama is. This player versus that player, this team versus that team. Will this team give this athlete the bag? The WWE. Wrestling, I know, like, why are you talking about that? Man, they're selling stories, and that's where the NFL has gotten it right over the last couple of years. They shifted from being NFL focused and all about the shield, all about the brand, to then highlighting the basketball players. But which is interesting is because basketball has always thrived in that space, right? This is what I'm gonna say about the NBA and what's happening here. And numbers don't lie, and also numbers don't tell the whole story, Mike. But ratings are drastically down. People aren't watching and consuming the NBA like they used to. I believe there will be a work stoppage before 2028. Why am I saying 2028? Because the collective bargaining agreement expires in 2030. But in 2028, I believe, okay, either side can opt out, right? But they got to fix that before. Like these challenges, whether it's the NBA All-Star Weekend, the games, you know, all these games where people aren't watching, they got to find a way to do that. And it's not going to come from the player side because business is booming. Business is good for the NBA players. But from the owner side, that's where they're struggling. Why would an NBA player want a different deal? They're working less and making more.
Exactly.
Right? So the biggest thing for me, Mike, is I feel like the owners may come to the table and say, yo, we got to shut this down until we get this right before 2028, 2030.
I think Kevin Durant's words is a reflection of the NBA. right? Like, I think the players have too much say-so, right? Like, they're not competing, right? I think that's one of the biggest problems, bro. In football, no matter who you play, they out there competing. You don't see like that competitive edge out there in basketball, bro, until you get to the playoffs. Well, bro, you got to be careful because the fans that you're speaking of, that's how y'all get paid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's who paying y'all bills. And it's hard for Kevin Durant to respect it because he made all his money. Kevin Durant don't need to play he don't even make another shot in basketball, bro, and he's set for life. But you got other guys that's trying to make their way in this league, bro, that's out here trying to compete, and you got guys like Kevin Durant and these other, I don't want to call them divas, right, but these guys that's trying to preserve their body till the playoffs, right, and then but you're losing a lot of your fans, bro, and the fans is what make this thing go. Yeah. Right? That's what makes basketball, that's what makes sports. Is fans. You got diehard fans who want to see, who come in and spending that hard-earned money to go to these games to see y'all compete, right? To see y'all go out there and bust your butt to try to win. And there's some guys that don't even care about winning. They just care about getting to the playoffs.
I don't think that's the problem, though. I agree with the players on that side of things when the strategy of load management. I agree with players, looking at the schedule and saying this doesn't make sense for me because in March, April is post NBA All-Star is when we need to turn it up. Jimmy Butler publicly talks about this. So I agree with the players when it comes to that because 82 games is way too much. And I know everyone's talking about that, but that's a real thing. And then everybody can go and talk about, well, the past, Michael Jordan did it, Scottie Pippen did it, Charles Barkley did it, Shaq did it. Yeah, but look how some of these old legends are walking around, right? And even from the competitive side that you brought up, Mike, why, you mean to tell me night in and night out we gonna compete? Imagine if you cut the games, shorter, right? Or, let's say we go from 82 games to maybe it's 66, right? Now you're competing more because the games matter that much more. That's why the NFL is so dope, is because there's only 17 games and every game matter. But the problem is going to be this. If you cut the games, now that's less money.
In the player pocket.
And also the owner's pocket, but that's how you're gonna make the game better. That's the only way you're gonna make the game better.
Bro, let me help you out here, bro. Nobody's gonna sympathize with none of these NBA players making $60 million a year, bro. Nobody ain't finna sympathize with you or make it comfortable for you. He's not gonna be comfortable.
And the NBA player ain't gonna sympathize with a fan. Kevin Durant don't care about no fan. He's still making $60 million.
From a work standpoint, nobody's gonna feel bad for you. Nobody's gonna sympathize with you for making $60 million a year. However you make it, I don't care that your body tired. You signed up for this. I hate when players go out there and act like, oh, if I knew what I knew then. Bro, if you knew what you knew then, you'd still play the same sport.
But I think that
exactly with the money that you're making, you will do exactly what you did.
But everything's about. Go ahead.
We're all saying the same thing, though. The owners are saying the same thing.
He and I ain't saying the same thing.
No.
Well, in a sense, you are. Either way, no one is happy with the product.
Correct.
Listen.
There has to be a middle ground.
When we were in college.
Can she finish? Can she let her land? Let her land.
I'm just saying, if we think that as fans, it's too many games, we can't find the games, I don't want to watch 4 games a night anyways. If the players are saying it's too many games, we're tired, we don't want to do all-star in the middle of the season, that's why you don't have all-star players playing in the game. We don't have Braun out there, we don't have Ant-Man out there, we don't have Giannis out there. If they're tired and we're tired and the owners are tired, okay, let's find a middle ground. Let's cut the games down a little bit, let's move all-star game a little bit deeper into the season.
Yep.
Let's make some adjustments.
I think.
Who cares what Kobe and Mike were doing?
Listen, sometimes I can confuse my damn self when I give all these points. But hear me out here. Hear me out. Let me break it down this way, Mike.
Please help me, because I don't get it.
What Kayla just said, perfect. The product is a problem, right? So we can all agree on that.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So how do we make it better? Right? The answer is not, Mike. The answer is not, you making $60 million, now go play basketball. Yeah. That's not going to change it. That's not it. That's not it.
Let me help you how to make it better.
Hold on. Let me tell you how to make it better first.
Go ahead. You go first. You go first.
Point number 1, cut the games. Go from 82 to maybe a 66. I don't know. And find a way to add more events, right? Like they did the the tournament out in Vegas, like they're doing All-Star? Is there something else that you can package up to take to the networks, like the Amazons, the ESPNs of the world, so you don't cut the investment made into the media deals, which pays the owners, what pays the players, right? So you have to change the format there. But you have, the number one thing is that, because what's going to happen when you do that, bro, it'll be more competitive. There's so much juice in the NFL when you know that this game could come back to bite you at the end of the season, because now you're looking at playoff implications and, you know, winning and losing, tiebreakers, et cetera, et cetera. The NBA, all they got to do is pay attention to the NFL and what they're doing from a digital standpoint, what they're doing from a product standpoint, and they'll be right where they need to be.
No, I totally disagree. One thing, the problem is they're getting guaranteed contracts. You take away these guaranteed contracts, I guarantee you this mentality will be totally different.
So it's a culture issue. It's 100%
a culture issue. One thing about the NFL, and you say it all the time, what do we got to protect at all costs?
The shield?
The shield.
The shield, right?
Okay.
And that ain't just off the field, that's on the field also, right? You can't go in no NFL practice and have a bad day. You can't definitely go out there and have a bad game. You're gonna get held accountable for that. These dudes ain't getting held accountable for nothing, bro. Okay. And they're not protecting the integrity of the game. This ain't just coming from fans. This coming from the old heads that came before them. Like, you don't see no.
The old heads, we always.
You don't see no old NFL players complain about how we play. It's the NFL changing the rules, right? It's not the players changing the rules. We want to hit. We want to compete. We want to tackle. It's the league making these changes. The players are making their own rules right now, bro. Not the league. The players are making these rules.
I'm just saying, leave it to the NFL players to say that the NFL is so much better than the NBA. All I'm saying is, what is it that y'all do in the NFL every year? What's it called?
Training camp?
No, the thing before Super Bowl that happens that nobody cares
Pro Bowl.
That product's not that good either. Like, y'all Pro Bowl is not better than the All-Star.
But look how they adapted. It's our product is not better because our bodies are beat up way more than these.
Hold on, that's a conversation. The NFL adapted, but that takes us down another rabbit hole. Hold on, Kayla, but do you hear the problem? What are we talking about? This is a business, bro. This is a business. In any other profession, we would celebrate, yo, we are working less and making more, right?
As an athlete, of course. But listen,
working less in the NBA?
Joel Embiid.
They don't practice, Kayla.
Okay, so you're talking about
Joel Embiid. They don't practice.
They don't do anything. No.
Period. Yes.
Joel Embiid has
games, practices.
Quadruple the amount of games that y'all play, though. So there has to be some level of, like, let's be realistic here.
But my point in all of this, I'm always coming from the athlete's perspective. And I'm always coming from a business perspective, right? You seem to have on your fan hat. You know, you're talking about that, but as a player, I'm looking at, like, they're not going to give up. They're going to fight for guaranteed contracts. Why would they give that up? That's been a thing in the NBA for a very long time.
Brandon,
put on your business hat as a player.
Brandon, when we was coming up, high school and college, what was our number one goal?
To make it to the league.
To make it to the league, and we knew that I want to go out there and play 82 games or 17
That's the trick.
games, whatever I want to do, whatever it takes for me to get to this league and get to this bag, to take care of my family, I'm going to do it at all costs. I don't care what it come with.
I get it.
Now we losing that edge once we get to the bag. Now it's not even so much about the bag.
It's about the business.
I want to get comfortable
It's about the business.
No, bro, business is, this is not, where I don't agree with you at when you say this all the time, this is entertainment. This is entertainment. This is not entertainment. This is competition.
See, that's the point. That's the point right there.
This is competition.
That's the point. Take the emotion out of the money.
No, competition is entertaining. That's what makes this sport great in all sports. Competition
I do agree with you. That's what makes it. Yes,
I got the best player. I got the 6'9" guy who's
I solved the problem though. But I solved the problem though. If you actually listen to me, I solved the problem.
I get to see all these barbarians compete against each other.
Mike, I solved the problem. You're not listening to me.
It's just not. We out there for entertainment, like wrestling. That's not real, bro. They out there acting. You ain't acting on that court. You ain't acting on the football field. You're out there competing. That's what entertainment is.
Mike, but I solved the problem.
No, I don't think you solved the problem.
I did solve the problem.
No, because it's guys going out there
if you don't play as many games,
no, bro,
it's more competitive.
That ain't the answer, because it's fans coming to every city, or you going to different cities and people want to see you play. So that ain't the answer. I'm telling you.
So you don't think Joel Embiid? So what is Joel Embiid going to say? Look at the average.
Bro,
Hollywood, where you at? Can we fact check this?
Joel Embiid is one of the worst problems in the league.
I know, but what I'm saying
is, Kevin Durant even just said it. He was like, bro, We worked our butts off, bro, to get these guaranteed contracts. And they're about to blow it for them. They literally, I guarantee you, this next collective bargaining agreement, it will not be guaranteed.
It's going to be a fight.
I would guarantee you it won't be guaranteed.
Yes, there will be.
No,
Russell Wilson in the football side of things where we have no guaranteed contract. It's probably going to get a 2-year deal that's guaranteed in football. You think that's going to happen?
Joe Embiid has played 421 career games. You know how many games he missed?
He's the problem. But you know who the problem is? You know who the problem is? You know who the problem is? Hold on, Mike.
Now, hold on.
Listen to me.
No,
go ahead. And then when you go, then you land.
Let me land.
And then you gonna let me land.
Spirit, I'm Frontier today.
Go.
Let me land. All right, he's missed 404 games and played 421 games. Bro, he's been off the court more than he's been on the court. But in the midst of missing all those games, he signed over $300 million worth of deals.
Okay, hold on. Watch this. Yes, thank you, Kayla. Ask the question. Ask the right question.
Signing the paper.
That's what that degree for. Pepperdine's degree kicking it. All right, Pepperdine degree kicking it. Go ahead.
I just wanted to know whose fault it was.
Because they
it's the owners. I thought you was going to land the plane, Kayla. Let me land the plane. Here we go. Bro, here you go, right there. Is that Joel Embiid's fault? Is that the let me land? Stop. Is that Joel Embiid's fault? Is that the player association's fault, or is that the owner's fault? Y'all got this once-in-a-lifetime talent, once in a generation, and they come and they play like that. Even Luka, I think the owner did the right move. Yo, the owner said, I've never seen a team win a championship when a star athlete doesn't take care of their body, doesn't show up and do the things that the Kobe's did, et cetera, et cetera. So there are those guys, but you know what needs to happen? Joel Embiid, why'd you give him that contract? You know who he is.
Because the players run
that's
the
the
league.
owner's problem. No, that's the owner's. No, that's
went to
Mike.
a final.
All right, give me 30 more seconds. Give me 30 more seconds. Give me 30 more seconds.
Okay, so the wheels are down.
We got another plane coming in now.
All right, cool. All right, so we got our seatbelts on, tray table.
Thank you for flying. I'm Spirit today. Thank you for traveling Spirit. Well, yeah, Spirit's the only thing working right now. You got Delta.
Hey.
What is happening?
Hey, man.
What is happening in the air?
Landed.
All right, give me 30 seconds. Here we go.
Cool.
30 seconds. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, bro, that is the owner's problem. Bro, like, what should happen if you want to hold the players accountable? Don't invest in no bums.
Okay, I got 10
Don't invest in no bums, because there are some dudes out there that you can invest in that's going to make sense.
And listen, and when you have these collective bargaining agreements, meetings, who's in these meetings?
Oh, on the NBA side, it's the right dogs, and the NFL.
NFLPA, and then who's in the owners?
Chris Pauls of the world.
Owners.
Oh, the owners. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
okay, then. So you think these owners going to keep making these same problems that you said it's the owner problem for giving Joel Embiid all this money? You think they're going to keep making the same problems?
No, but what I'm saying is maybe the owners need to look themselves in the mirror and say, why did I invest in Joel Embiid?
Not the mirror. They
why?
Look at
invest in LeBron James of the world.
These guys not working, not trying to be great no more. Just worry about getting this bag and getting back to the table every other year. They have one good year where they averaging 30 points a game and they miss half of the season, and then go out here and sign for another $192 million.
I appreciate you guys for traveling Brandon Marshall Airlines. I think I won this battle, this conversation.
No way.
But please give us a review. Let us know who won this, bruh. You an owner, bro. You ain't for the players. This ain't I am athlete. This is I am owner. That's what it need to be switched to. That's your brand need to be I am owner.
No, you
well,
are
speaking
diva.
of future investments, future teams, find out why teams should not pass on Cam Ward in the draft. We've got more ball coming up after this short break. Keep it locked right here on REVOLT Sports Weekly, powered by I Am Athlete. Back to REVOLT Sports Weekly, powered by I Am Athlete. We said earlier that it is a little slow in sports right now, but we are about to witness the next wave of NFL stars entering the league during the NFL draft in just 2 months. Cam Ward is a name that is on everybody's lips, arguably the top player available, and the former Miami QB knows it. Cam says, if you don't draft me, that is your fault. You gotta remember, you're the same team that's got to play me for the rest of my career, and I'll remember that. Okay, spicy.
Yeah.
Cam kept it spicy. B, how many teams do you think pass on Cam in the draft?
I don't want to. Yeah, he's saying zero. Kayla, I would not want to be a general manager that needs a quarterback at the top of the draft this year.
Because why?
Because Cam Ward is special. The way the leadership qualities. There was a wide receiver at the University of Miami that wasn't showing up at the workouts. And he told me, he said, bro, if you don't show up to these off-season workouts, I ain't throwing you the ball in season, right? And so I'm always looking for those things, right? The things that aren't physical, right? Do you have the leadership qualities? Do you have the management qualities? And those are two different things. He has all of that. And then when you go on the field, you turn on the film, the kid is special. Like, I mean, he's like playing around, like it's a video game. It's when you watch the University of Miami film and you see him playing against other dudes that could potentially be Hall of Famers when it's all said and done and all pros, et cetera, he literally is like staying in the pocket, not moving, like, and doing this, walking into the end zone. So he's special, but Shedeur is special as well. And Shedeur, I think the real question, Kayla, is how many teams pass up on Shedeur? And I think there's going to be a couple of teams that get that wrong, and he's going to be one to turn around and make them pay for it. And the reason why is because they're looking at the flair. Nobody really wants their quarterback to be that flashy, to be making songs, to be talking about the jewelry and all of that. The NFL, yes, it's player focused now, but it's still like a little institution too, right? Last point here, and I'll land it. Shedeur is he's leading in the history of the NCAA in completion percentages. So teams are gonna look at all of the flair and all that fame and all that stardom, and they're gonna say, this is where we're gonna knock him. We may put Cam up a little bit. But bro, that dude plays. He's one of the ones that can separate it. When I go into the facility, I'm locked in. When I'm on the practice field or it's game day, I'm locked in. Even what I gotta do to take care of my body, and people are gonna miss out on that. And I think there's gonna be one team that pass up on Shedeur. Ain't gonna be too many. I don't know. You asked me to answer a question about.
I bet you had a little insight.
It might be number one overall. The Tennessee Titans.
First of all, I don't think no team is going to pass up on Cam Ward. If they do, they're not drafting Shedeur. They're drafting the edge rusher from Penn State, first of all right? Second of all, there's no way you think Shedeur could possibly go before Cam based off his dad. I think his dad in this situation is a bad thing. I think this is where it's finna fall, like kind of back on him this time, because you know and I know the NFL is totally different than college, bro. All right, he's not playing against some sophomores from Katy, Texas, or he's not playing against a true freshman at corner, or he don't got those guys on the field. You got Jalen Ramsey's, you got Pro Bowlers, Myles Garrett coming off the edge, bro. This is totally different right now, and your dad can't save you. It's hard for me to respect it because he's never walked into a situation, a locker room or a team, where he had to fight for a starting spot. Bro, you know and I know, as former players, bro, you got to go out there and earn everything you get. He's never had to earn anything. He's only walked in every locker room knowing that I'm gonna be the starter as a freshman.
Yeah, he should.
Bro, you know how crazy that is as a freshman in college, walking in the locker room knowing that I'm not gonna have to compete for my position at all as a true freshman in college. Do you know how crazy that is? You got juniors and seniors in front of you, and I know I don't care who's on that roster, I'm the starter.
So you mean to tell me
nepotism is not skill or talent?
No.
I don't even like the word nepotism. I think it's
that's the word.
It is in a sense. It's definitely the word. But no, it's just crazy. Like there's no competition for him. Like, bro, I'm a man because my daddy's the coach. My daddy's the coach. Brandon, bro, you've never walked. You making $10, $11 million a year. You still had to go out there and bust your butt to be that man on that football team, bro. Imagine a kid walking in a locker room. Every locker room he's walked in since high school and never had to compete for a position.
So this is how I'll respond to this. Has there ever been an athlete in the history of time, right, that's never had to compete because they were that good, they were that special?
You just said, you see, that's a loaded question. No, that's a loaded question because
why are you looking like
he
that,
didn't
Kayla?
start every year.
Why
because
are you looking like that, Kayla?
Listen,
did I say something wrong?
Yes, you did. You said something wrong. I'm finna tell you where you said it wrong at. It's not because he was that good. It's because his dad was the coach. And nobody said.
No, I didn't. I asked the question. I asked the question.
But that's a loaded question, though. You're saying that he started on every team because he was that good.
Since the earth wasn't invented, let me say it that way.
Yikes.
Since the earth was invented, Jesus came and said, let there be light, boom. Have there ever been an athlete that never had to do what Mike is saying, right? Meaning, Yes, meaning they were that good, they were that special at the age of 6 and 7 that they never had to compete.
No, that's not the situation. That's not.
That never happened? That never happened?
No.
You mean to tell me there's never been an athlete?
No.
Tiger Woods.
No.
Well, Tiger Woods, that's a single. That's a single. It's like, it's an individual sport.
No.
There's never been an athlete.
No. It ain't because he was that good. It's because his dad has been his coach his whole entire life.
All right, here's my thing with
Like,
Shedeur.
bro, adversity.
Man,
He's never seen adversity. He's never seen quarterback competition. He's never had to worry about making a mistake.
I'm telling you right now, this dude is it.
Brandon,
he's everything.
Brandon, he's
worth
had
the
a short
ticket.
leash.
He's worth the contract. He's worth the #1 overall pick. He is special, Mike.
Brandon, you can go out there.
And then he's prepared.
Bro.
You talking about how Dion could potentially be counterproductive to the process that he's going through right now, the draft process. But I actually would say, damn, this is actually a bonus, just the same as Archie Manning was to Eli Manning and Peyton Manning, right? And then now their son coming up.
No.
He's seen everything.
No.
He's been there with his father.
No.
That is so.
He hasn't, bro. He hasn't seen any kind of adversity. He's never had to worry about being replaced in his life. Never had to worry about being replaced.
That's why I even
never
started
had to
with
worry
that
about
stat,
going down.
That's why I started with that. That's why I started with that.
There
There is that, but that's why I started with that stat. Okay, all of that said, what has he done when he got the opportunity? Call it nepotism, call it whatever you want to call it. All I know is to do balls. All I know is to do perform. Name all of the quarterbacks that ever played college football, the greatest quarterbacks ever. Joe Montana, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Eli Manning, Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen, your guy, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes. I can go on and on and on. And that dude has the #1 completion percentage in the history of NCAA.
Well,
the history.
He started since he was a true freshman.
Okay, but
most quarterbacks don't come in even knowing the playbook.
You're
right?
not sipping the Shedeur Kool-Aid. We get it.
I'm not.
Wait, but this is my
sipping
question
it.
though. This is my question. How confident are you that Cam will be better than Shedeur at the pro level? Like, what is it that is making you feel so confidently about his game over Shedeur's?
I think he's a better quarterback than Shedeur. If you watch the tape, he's more accurate. He scrambles better. He's a better runner. He's more mobile. He's more poised in the pocket. And everything I've watched, he's a better quarterback than Shedeur Sanders.
And this is why I said it's if I wouldn't want to be a general manager. Now we just talking ball, and you take out the BS that he talking about. Oh, Dion this and nepotism that, which you ain't really say nepotism. You did, but when you just talk ball, it's very difficult for a general manager, right? I think the only thing that's a knock on Shedeur that can be a knock because how they think, right, is, well, the fame and all of the other stuff that he's doing. We want a quarterback like Josh Allen that doesn't want to do media, that doesn't want to do commercials, but this dude only shows up and performs at the highest level. So when you turn on the film, Mike is right. It's a toss-up. It's a toss-up to me. I don't think it's clear-cut that Cam Ward is the better quarterback.
I think it's clear-cut. Cam Ward.
That's the same thing they said about Patrick Mahomes too, Kayla. That's the same thing they said about even Lamar Jackson. They said that about Aaron Rodgers. Like, this is what happens. We're breaking down film and we're looking at it, we're giving our opinion, but there comes a time, like, that's what I'm looking at. Stop looking at all of that stuff. Look at the little things, bro. Look at the little things when we was at the UCF game and how he handled all of that attention. We were right there. You were right there by me. Like, you see it, bro. What about that?
No, bro.
What about that stuff?
No, his journey.
You can look at it. How many times have you?
Just take the journeys. You know what school Cam Ward went to?
It don't matter.
First?
You know what? You're your guy.
What school you never heard of? You know what school that Cam Ward went to? He went to a school called Incarnate Word first.
Is it a
all right,
private
before,
school?
huh?
Is it private?
It's like I don't even know if it's a JUCO or maybe like a D3 or D2 school. All right, he went there first. That's how he started his college career. You ever heard of Incarnate Word?
No, I have not.
All right, you ever heard of it? Anybody ever heard of Incarnate Word? No. All right, earned his spot there. Then got a scholarship to Washington State. All right, balled out there.
So that
then went to the University of Miami. Balled, he's proven himself every year in and year out. He's proven himself. He's winning, earned him a starting position. That's character.
So that's valuable. I like that though.
100%.
I like that.
Okay, now take Shedeur.
Oh, no.
My dad is the coach.
Go ahead.
My dad is the dad. Where you going? I'm going with you. Dad,
but don't go from positive to negative.
I don't care what situation I'm walking in. My son is a starting quarterback.
Yeah, but don't go. But hold on. First off, I don't like how you went positive to negative because what you could have did is.
I didn't say it was negative.
What you could have done. What you could have done is because I like what you did.
You called it negative.
I like what you did.
I didn't call it negative. I'm telling you, both of their journeys alone is crazy.
I like what you did with Cam. I like that because that's a lot of value. If I'm a general manager, I'm looking at like, yo, there's a lot of value in that. You understand? But then when you look at Shedeur, I think a general manager will put on their general manager hat and say, there's a lot of value in him having Dion and being a part of this since he was a baby. Because when a lot of times these cats get into the league, like the Jamarcus Russells of the world, et cetera, and this is just an anomaly. There's only a few of these guys, but they get in, they can't handle the business. They can't handle the pressure. Shedeur can handle the pressure. He's been in the pressure. Sometimes the best coach is your father.
He's never experienced pressure, Brandon.
Well,
He
should be your father.
Those were the cards he was dealt, though. Those were the cards he
What
was
you
dealt, and he
mean?
did the
When you
best
say
with the
pressure,
guys.
pressure ain't always in sports, though.
What are you talking about? At the quarterback position, bro, nobody walks into a situation already the starting quarterback, no matter who's on the roster. Nobody
Peyton Manning didn't do that, huh? Peyton Manning didn't do that.
He earned his starting position.
He earned it. He really earned it. Yeah, okay.
This is completely off topic.
Eli Manning, right?
Bro,
how do you feel about Bronny being on the Lakers then?
I feel like that's nepotism for sure. Now that's a difference. All right, Bronny never started a game in college. He didn't start in college, all right? He didn't start a game in college. Now that's nepotism, right? He didn't start a game in college.
I didn't nepotism to start siding with it. That's why.
But you asked me how I felt about. But you asked. I can't. Now that is nepotism, right? You can't not start in college and get drafted. Like that just don't work. He wasn't even like he was a sixth man. He wasn't even a sixth man. I think he averaged like 4 points a game or 6.
But here's my thing though, Mike. Do you respect it?
I respect it for sure.
Okay, great.
Anybody, they talking about it. Anybody is going to put their child on. That's crazy if you
got
don't.
there is when you have the opportunity, what do you do with it?
That's right.
What do you do with it?
I'm just saying, if we comparing the two quarterbacks, not just
But before you go there, let's land the plane on the nepotism thing. The reason why I said that is because they do it in business.
Oh my gosh.
Even in sports, right? Like there's coaches, general managers that have their sons.
The Raiders owner.
Right. Come on.
The Bus family from the Lakers.
That's right. So I
come on, bro. It's all nepotism.
Name all the white people that do it all the time.
I'm not saying he's wrong, right? I would do the same thing, but I also would like to hold my son accountable. At least give him some competition.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy.
Speaking of Dion, I talked to him at the NFL Honors. Asked him why he didn't take that Cowboys coaching job. I mean, simply put, he basically said, "I'm not coaching at that level without my son." So do you guys see Dion leaving college football and coaching his son in the league anytime soon?
I don't see it.
Yeah. I think it's the way it's going to happen. Let's say the Tennessee Titans, who sit in top of the draft, they take Shedeur, right? And they don't take Cam, okay? It doesn't work out. They fire this coach that's going into year 2. You don't think they're going to, there it is. I think Dion looked at the opportunity and was like, yo, if I can get in there now, I will. But then they sat back and said, all right, it doesn't look like it's going to happen. Now I can play the longer game, right? I think when it's all said and done, I believe we're going to see Shedeur Sanders coaching Shedeur, and it's going to be one of the most legendary things ever.
I don't see it happening in the short term, and you just said it. He said, if they fire their coach.
Yeah.
Well, if you fire the coach, I mean, your team is not pretty good at all, right? Let's be real. If you getting fired as a head football coach, right, that means y'all are not that good. That means Shedeur is not doing that great either, right? If a head coach getting fired. I understand that. Okay, sport. Yeah, but if we fire coaches, I don't think he go bring in the kid's dad that's on the team, right? I don't think that helps.
That's a good point. That is a good point. And on that note, we're going to switch gears after the break. Game Fits is coming up next. Welcome back, y'all. It is time for Game Fits. We're dropping the X's and O's and breaking down the yeses and nos of fashion. But before we get started, just want to let you guys know that our guy Mike had to take a little dip. So subbing in, we've got our guy Hollywood joining us for this segment. First up, y'all.
I'm outnumbered. 2 resident journalists and 1 athlete on I Am Athlete.
Yeah, you know what they call that? I don't know. Let's start with Durant Jackson Jr. Okay.
This is a big yes. Before you jump in here, Kayla, hopefully you're rocking with me and riding with me on this one. This is fly. I'm assuming this is NBA All-Star?
I believe so, yes.
So NBA All-Star weekend, like I always say it, I'll continue to say it, walking into the arena or the stadium is the runway. That is the new runway. I don't know if those are product glasses or whatever it is, but this is yes, fly.
Yeah, designer detail aside, this is definitely giving high fashion runway. I personally don't love it. I would not wear this
I
coat.
knew you was gonna say that.
But I do appreciate the risk. He's almost 7 foot, and it looks like a very well-tailored, well-fitting coat. So I'm not mad at it.
Hold on, but
I don't love the added handed accessory at the waistline.
so if you take, I know that does
from
feel.
behind, I don't know.
Yeah, I can see that.
Why?
I mean,
Yeah.
it's clean, because look at the jacket. I just don't appreciate the shoulder pads.
I love the shoulder pad, the herringbone.
on there,
But that's my point, though. Isn't this fashion? Isn't this where we're at?
That's fine, but I mean, it's not for me. Would you wear it?
Absolutely.
I know you would.
Absolutely.
Whoopee.
But you
Next
don't-
up.
Okay.
Next up, we have her from Saturday Skills Night. Okay, her. It's a little streetwear style moment, nothing too crazy. I feel like this is very much in her lane. She looks comfortable, cute, popping up at the All-Star game, not doing too much.
100%. Her, she found her lane, right? That's always something I'm always looking at is, does the person that we're talking about in fashion, did they find their lane? A lot of times people don't understand their fit. They don't understand, the style that they should be leaning into. She found that and is comfortable, and her is just like, oh, that's her.
Right.
That's what makes her her, right? Like, that's just her. She's so nice, she's so sweet, and she's also a hooper.
Oh, I saw that. I saw some clips of her. Was it Steph Curry she was shooting with?
Yeah.
Going shot for shot?
Like, she's a hooper. She can shoot the ball.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Shout out to her, love her.
Shout out to her. Okay, let's take a look now at arguably the best player in hoops, but also, in my opinion, one of the best dressed in the game, SGA.
So the SGA is usually a hit or miss for you, Kayla. You're
This is 10 out of 10.
This is 10 out of 10.
This is dope.
Phenomenal. I posted on my Instagram story when I saw him wearing this that he is our modern day AI. Like,
you did say that.
Iconic looks. It's moments where it's like, I want to recreate this in my own way. Like, I want to look like this.
Right.
Going, I don't know where I'm going, but I'm trying to make this fly.
What do you love about this? Because you're one of the few that actually holds him accountable when it comes to fashion.
Yeah.
For me, he can't do no wrong, right? Like, try everything.
I love the fur. Fur is so in this season. I don't know if it's a faux fur or not, Peter. Don't come for us. The fur is fly. That big ass bag, sick. And then he paired it with his own PE signature shoe with Converse that he just released.
Yeah.
The shoe is hard. The silhouette is dope. The colorway is fire. Like, I'm just a fan.
Were those the same shoes that he wore in the game too? Like the mustard shoes? Yeah, I love this. Like the style, the big pants. Like, I don't really love the tight jeans, like when men kind of put those on from time to time. So I like the starched, maybe heavy starched. Southern boy.
The stars.
Yo, everybody in the South would appreciate that.
No, literally.
He's Hollywood telling people you still put the crease in your pants.
Yeah, I do. My Levi's, oversized Levi's, throw my UGG boots on. Like,
What, you put the crease in the front of your pants?
I do.
That's
like
a Southern
the front,
thing. Like,
yeah.
if I moved down to Georgia when I was younger, and them people in the South starch, like, take it to the cleaners, heavy starch. Like, I'm talking about, it's like it feel like this table.
But you put it on. Have you ever seen the video of
Don't you have some in the back?
No, they're not in the back, but I did. I was about to wear them. They're coming. I can't bring them out right now. But do you remember that video when dude was like, I'm fresh, ain't it? It was an old dude at the gas station, and the girls kind of started clowning him. He had on like the polo shirt and the starched jeans. I'm gonna have to show you that video.
Yeah, please, 'cause that's
like that's
about-
the fit. Like, that's what I love. So I think that's why I can appreciate the SGA fit so
Absolutely.
much.
Shout out to SGA.
And before we move on from that, one of the things that he said when he launched that shoe that we were just talking about, because he launched that NBA All-Star weekend, he said he hasn't been able to put on a basketball shoe in a long time that he also want to wear around. So that's his approach when it comes to his signature shoe.
He also made the point that if you play well, people are going to want to wear your shoe, and he's been doing that. So shout out to the guy. Okay, next up we have Shaq and T-Mac courtside.
Shaq?
Saturday night.
He is not. We're not talking about Shaq in fashion. Okay, Shaq. No, okay. Okay, Shaq. I like this.
Put on a turtleneck, all of a sudden he's a
That's what it is.
convenient. How convenient.
Yeah.
No, this is a good. Honestly, this is good for Shaq. I'm not mad at this at all.
There's only one thing. The socks. He should have. The socks should have matched. Yes, it should have matched his turtleneck. But I like to see Shaq in this this lane. Shaq be too casual sometimes because he's Shaq. He can't do that. But this right here, I was not expecting this. The hat, you can tell that's custom. The suit, like I would like to see Shaq in more suits. Come on, big homie, let's go. More suits, bro. I like this.
Yeah, more suits, less turtleneck.
This is fly.
We don't gotta do turtleneck every time. He did a turtleneck during the actual All-Star game too. Kevin Hart was calling him a porn star director.
Oh my goodness. All right, I'm not even gonna address that.
He said, not me.
All right, trivia real quick. Kayla, what shoes does Shaq have on? This is also taking you back down to the South.
The Grandpop 500s.
See, you ain't from the South, you don't know.
I ain't from
Hollywood, come on, you gotta know this, man. This might have been a little bit before your era. Oh no, but K-Swiss was, those is classics.
What are they?
REVOLT classics.
What are they, Reebok?
Oh my goodness, you don't know REVOLT? Oh, you from the Cali.
Senior citizen?
No, it's a Southern thing. The classics, I mean, that's what they call it, the classics.
Oh, they call it classics?
Yeah, like during that same era where everybody's wearing starch. That's why it's crazy that he still does the starch, because we're talking about the 90s is where the starch jeans was crazy in the South, and also the classics, right? You had the Sauconys, right? You did have the K-Swiss, right? But that's a cultural staple in the South. So shout out to Shaq, also an investor partner in Reebok.
All right, y'all, let's see our last look of the day for Game Fits. We've got Thunder star Jalen Williams.
He looked like, what's the artist's name, the rapper?
Young Thug.
No, what's the rapper's name that do the podcast? Hang out with Drake.
Lil Yachty.
Lil Yachty, he look like a Lil Yachty, but I like the fit. I like it. This is a yes for me. It does feel like something's off a little bit. It might be him.
That little bag.
Is it the little bag?
Big body with that little bag.
I'm gonna say yes. You just said fur was in. I like this.
Like, what's on the sleeves? Like, is it leather, pleather? What the pants? Let me see the pants.
So it looks like he put on a cotton zip up with a leather vest and then a fur on top. And typically I am a girl who loves a layered moment because it gives depth to the look. I don't particularly love this. I feel like the volume of the sleeve needs to be a little bit bigger to fit the holes of that vest. Like, you see how it's like droopy and open in there?
Them the same
just look a little
pants.
soggy.
Them the same pants Kendrick Lamar had on at the Super Bowl.
But
they just leather. They got some bell-bottom leather pants on.
I like those pants. This is enough for me though. This is yes for you, B.
It's a yes for me. I love it, man. But he's still throwing me off. He looked like Lil Yachty.
Why does that bother you?
I don't know, just throwing me off a little bit. I don't know.
Alrighty then.
Just throwing me off a little bit.
All right, y'all, that is it for Game Fits. We're gonna take a quick break, and Behind the Headlines is up next. Welcome back to REVOLT Sports Weekly, powered by I Am Athlete. It's time for us to go a little bit deeper and take a look behind the headlines. Hollywood is here, our resident hard-hitting reporter. What you got for us?
First, before we even get into behind the headlines, like, I don't think we can skip over the fact that this Party Next Door and Drake album dropped on Valentine's Day.
Oh.
How was y'all's Valentine's Day? Let's talk
Look
about
at this.
that. Like,
This is a lover
talk
boy.
about that. Yeah, like, I gotta be considerate. Ask the question.
Can we flip it on you? Can we ask you about your Valentine's Day? How was your Valentine's Day?
You know, my Valentine's Day was great. It was 4 days after my birthday.
Okay.
I had a chance to spend it with my moms, show love. Like, that's all it was.
So your mom was your Valentine?
My mom was my Valentine.
Okay, great. And you said you had PTSD?
I was joking. I spent Valentine's Day with friends. I was in the Bay for All-Star, so I went on a little Galentine's dinner with the homegirls.
Where'd y'all go?
Honestly, I have no idea what the name was, but it was a delicious Italian restaurant in the Bay.
Yeah.
They got some good food out there.
That's awesome.
Real good food.
I like your friend group. You got a nice friend group. What? She got a nice friend group. You got a nice friend group.
What did you do for Valentine's Day, B?
What did I do? My daughter was my Valentine's, Ziggy,
special.
and I took Z, Ziggy, and Zoe. We went to Houston's. So, we brought flowers and candy and some balloons for Ziggy. My boys, she has a twin brother, 10 years old, and a 5-year-old brother, so we did that for her. And then we all went and had an amazing meal at Houston's out in Brickell.
I love it. I love it.
Yep.
Showing sister love.
So this Drake thing, where you want to go?
Yeah, for sure. So first, I gotta say, like I said, it came out on Valentine's Day. Drake, Party Next Door, all 21 songs were ranked. Actually, in this process too, Drake actually dethroned Kendrick Lamar when it came to Spotify streams first day at 92.4. Kendrick Lamar was at 92.3. And it also broke Apple Music ranks as well as the fastest album to reach the ranks first day as well. So plenty disses in this. Like I said, it was on Valentine's Day, but it was a lot of sneak disses in the album too. Give Me a Hug, Brian Steele. All of those songs were great. But my question is, I mean, simple as to say, can anyone knock Drake off of this high horse right now? Like, he's always been number one. Like, he's featuring somebody. Like, he's always putting people on. Like, will Drake ever be knocked off of that number one high horse?
The answer to that question is yes. Kendrick Lamar just knocked him off that high horse, right? But to me, that is not the conversation when you look at this album that he just dropped on Valentine's Day, and then when you look at the business around it and the numbers. We have to decide in hip hop how we want to approach this conversation around greatness and what's great. You hear from the greats like Fat Joe, like Jadakiss, around hip hop being a sport and competitive. Well, if we're approaching it the same way, like it's a sport and it's competitive, then in sport, all we're looking at is numbers. And numbers tell a lot of the story, not the whole story, but a lot of the story, right? What we're looking at is, Tom Brady versus Patrick Mahomes. Can Patrick Mahomes catch Tom Brady? Then will he be the GOAT, right? So that's competitive, that's the sport. So when you look at the numbers suggest and say that Drake is the GOAT. Right?
Depends on what numbers you're looking at. Right?
Oh, well, I know. I'm not talking about. Go ahead. I know where you're going with this. You're talking about Kendrick Lamar and all the legendary moment that he's having. One, because of his art, right? But then there's also the amplification of being at the Super Bowl in that platform, right? Which takes everything through the roof for any artist that touches that platform, right? So it's both. But I'm looking at the numbers of overall. Like, there's a video, Khalib, that went viral. Opening night, Rap TV threw a mic in my face and they asked me about Drake and Kendrick. And what I said was, they're saying that they're dropping an album on Valentine's Day, and if he drops and the numbers are insane, to me, he's the GOAT.
Hold on,
right?
we don't need you to summarize. Can we roll the tape? Because I needed the people to see.
We have the tape.
Loud, please. Because anything that he raises his voice, it makes what he's saying more of a fact.
What they say, loud and wrong?
Yeah, we have the tape.
Do we have that?
We have the tape. Okay, we're running the tape because you got to see this.
So basically, when you say roll the tape, it'll go in. Now we'll come out of it like we saw it.
Okay.
All right, cool. So you'll do a pickup now, or so we'll come out of it now. So yeah.
I'm trying to remember what you said. You were like,
Here, I got you right here. Hold on. Here we go.
The culture, right? Like, we got to see now, will Drake bounce back? How would he bounce back? They're saying he's going to drop this new one with Party Next Door on Valentine's Day, right? And then there's a label saying that they're trying to humble him. Is that going to happen? Can he overcome that machine in the system? If he does that, Drake is the greatest of all time. If Drake overcomes the system and drops with Party Next Door, February 14th, he's the greatest of all time. Because you gotta think about it.
He's the greatest. He's the greatest of all time. He's the greatest of all time. You gotta think about it. Man, hell no. I don't care about the numbers. I got 2 years and they work. And if you heard this album that he just dropped, it's not the greatest of all time. It's not the greatest of nothing all time. It's not the greatest R&B. First of all, it was supposed to be an R&B love-making album. It dropped on Valentine's Day. Party Next Door tweeted and deleted, "You're supposed to have sex to this music, not debate about it." It didn't make me want to have no kind of sex. Party.
So
I didn't like it. I'm not done. This is my other point, and this is to your point, because I agree with you. The star power of Drake is so monumental that it catapulted Kendrick Lamar's career. I will give him all of that credit. Kendrick Lamar would not have been on that Super Bowl stage without the beef with Drake. Seriously, he just rose to the occasion and he was prepared for his moment. Now you said, if he comes back on Valentine's Day and gives us a project, is he the greatest of all time? Well, unfortunately, according to you, he's not. He's not the greatest of all time conversation, because this album is not it.
See, but you're looking at it from a product standpoint, and as an athlete, and I'm also listening to the culture, I'm listening to hip hop, I'm listening to the greats. They're saying it's a sport and it's competitive. And in sport, we're looking at numbers. And so I agree with you from an album standpoint. Let me say this first. I haven't even listened to the album yet. Only thing I care about, because I don't care about the number, I don't care about the product, I don't care about that. I care about the numbers. I care about the numbers. That's what I care about. That's what I'm saying. He's never done this before. Michael Jackson didn't do this. Who my GOAT is, right? That's a different conversation. This is my GOAT is Jay-Z. Jay-Z's my GOAT, but from a numbers standpoint, he is the Tom Brady of the space.
No, and the reality is too, people are gonna turn this album on because they wanna hear the responses to the Drakes.
There's some of that.
The Kendrick Lamars, they wanna hear the sneak this. It's like when there's a fight at school and you show up the next day because you wanna see Shorty face. Like, okay, I wanna see the damage done. What you gonna do with it?
Okay, but now look at this, Kayla.
People are streaming it because it's so good. I'm interested to see the numbers a week from now, a month from now. I guarantee you they're going to plummet. And it's because Party Next Door, Giveon was right here. Friday, Summer Walker. You want to give us R&B, give us R&B. This was not an R&B album. And I was very disappointed.
Okay, well, I agree with you from a product standpoint, but to me, it's like highlighting. There's a young lady, Pims, her listener count on Spotify has skyrocketed, and you mentioned that, like, you know, Drake's platform and the celebrity, the star power of Drake has put so many people on.
Absolutely.
Right? And so those are the things, Khalid, that I wanted to highlight. I just think that, you know, when you look at it from a pure sports standpoint, competitive standpoint, Drake, numbers don't lie. He's the GOAT. Is he not the GOAT?
Yeah, but as far as what you said, to be able to come back with everything, you know, this from last year, the end of last year, and be able to come back, and if he delivers the #1 next week, yes, he will be the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? I really think
You're saying the #1 with this album?
With this album, yeah, and I agree with you, right, as far as the product of the songs and everything, like, it's not the greatest, but if we just talk about someone being able to, you know, drop and still become #1 again after all that and everybody turned against you, man, that's pretty incredible. I think that's.
Could I ask that we look at this from another perspective though, and I wanna throw out like another set of numbers here, because, I mean, truth be told, I feel like every song on the album was great. Like 21 songs, like I said, all of them ranked. CN Tower, 4.6 million views. Give Me a Hug, 4 million. Mothballs, 3.8 million, and it goes on and on and on from there. But so now you say Drake, according to the numbers, that makes him the GOAT, right?
Yeah. The numbers already, from a number standpoint.
For sure.
Right?
So my question to you is, if Drake hadn't responded to any of this that was going on, he just dropped his R&B album, would that made him less of, because you talk about NFL being an athlete, would that make him anything less of a competitor just in the rap space right now? Because it needs it. Like the rap game, people say the rap game was
But that's
fading.
my point. This was supposed to be an
I did wake it up.
This was supposed to be an R&B album. We could have kept the beef with the rap stuff.
Yeah.
And to be honest, as a fan, I don't care about a Kendrick and a Drake beef. And I've said that from the beginning. I care about the music. I care about the artistry. I care about playing your song in my car because I like the beat and what you're talking about.
Yeah. Right.
I don't care about a beef.
Yeah.
But what I do care about, I will say this though, Drake, if you're listening. Probably not. I would love for him to leave the antics. Like, okay, the beef happened. You lost.
Yeah.
We can move on. Like collectively as a group, we are over it. I don't care no more. Why are you throwing DeMar DeRozan's jersey on
I didn't
stage?
like that.
Why are you changing the lyrics? Like, we really don't care. Just make some good music, and I promise you, we'll forget about this.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I agree with them. I agree with them changing the lyrics that referred to LeBron James, because LeBron James shouldn't have been in the pop out concert, the pop out night.
That's another thing. He should cover up his tattoo and put you on it.
Yeah. No. Well, he definitely need to cover. That's crazy. You definitely need. That's what we need to know. Dre, did you cover up the LeBron tattoo? Please tell the people. We want to know. But I didn't want to see that either, Kayla. It's like, bro, you took the loss, but you're still great, right? Like, I love how some of the people in this space, like, you know, you got Gilly, he talked about this, like, you took the loss, let move on.
Literally.
Right? Like, there's a couple people in hip hop, historians, fans, artists that are like, you still can. Yeah. For you to be up there still talking about the beef, it's either go there
or not.
or just move on?
I think he did though because
he ain't go at no Kendrick. He went at DeMar. I don't care about no DeMar.
On the album, like he blatantly said, like F a rap beef. I'm trying to get the party lit.
Yeah.
But he also said how Young Thug was like put the beefs to the side, and Drake was like, I can't. Like I'm not.
Yeah.
So it's like I think he was direct towards it, but he also.
That's not direct towards it.
Those are weak.
That's not direct towards it because you didn't say anything that made all of us say, oh, what is Kendrick going to say?
Yeah, because if somebody called me a P word,
he called him. Oh, okay, that was something not like that. Okay.
Allegedly.
If somebody called me that, I'm coming back swinging.
Allegedly. We want to stay on remote. We want to stay on remote.
All move on. We don't care anymore.
Well, yeah, I think that's it. Like this conversation in itself is so big. Like Drake, Kendrick Lamar, what they've done like over the course of these years. I think you always hate to see a relationship just go down the drain like this. But from what you guys have been able to see over the years, like Jay-Z, Nas, even like a thing on a smaller level, Irv Gotti and 50 Cent. Will this relationship ever be able to be mended, considering what's happened in this? Because that's what we want.
Pastor Reese.
As a culture. That's what we want as a culture, right?
That?
Like
I don't care.
I mean, no, like just in the rap game, because as black men, like that's what we fight for. Like we don't want to be going, you calling me a pedophile, like that's not of the culture. That's not what we're looking for.
Listen, you know, we're supposed to forgive. We're supposed to reconcile, do all those things. And that's Pastor Reese one day can give us a word, a whole, sermon on forgiveness. But what I would say is, this seemed to have gone extremely personal, meaning like I can't see them ever becoming friends again or making music again. I can't see it. And the reason why, like when you mentioned like Jay-Z and Nas, Jay-Z was always thinking bigger from a business standpoint. I don't see Kendrick, built in a record label. Kendrick's built in agency and production. Like his halftime show was produced by his agency, right? So I think when it comes to Jay-Z and Nas, it was different how they approached it. This was like a lot, bro. This is going to go down as one of the most historical moments in music, not only hip hop. Yeah. You had SNL, you had Will Ferrell and the other, what's the actress name, doing skits around this. Yeah. Bro, you got people talking around about this globally. Yeah. So I'm glad that it's taken hip hop from, hip hop used to be number one. It was the number one genre in the entire world. And then for the last couple of years, it went down and it was trending in the wrong direction. This put us back there. So I'm glad that happened. But I would love for us to come together in a more positive way.
Yeah, Deion said that on the NFL honors carpet. He was basically just like, I asked him, who is your GOAT?
Let me ask you a question too.
Well, just let it land first and then you come.
Who is your GOAT? I asked Deion that, and his response was like, why do we have to pick? You know what I mean? What is our obsession with constantly having to pick just one? I think they're both great artists. I think as fans, what we need to, I do. I have so many great playlists.
I'm sucking my teeth because if you ask Deion who's the GOAT at cornerback,
That's true.
Yeah.
I just think as fans though, it's never really that deep. Yeah. Like what Drake and Kendrick got going on is really none of our business. Like if it really is real beef, as consumers, I just don't think it needs to involve us. Like this whole pick a side thing and, you was cool with Kendrick and you was at the pop-up and now you're not down with Drake and it's Toronto all day. It's like, I am not involved. Like this is not my beef, I just like the music. You know what I mean? Like I think as fans, we're allowed to do that.
I disagree with you. You was there. You're from, where are you from? Are you from Cali? Are you from Southern Cal?
I don't care.
Are you from Southern Cal? Are you from Southern Cal? Did you feel a sense of pride for the West Coast?
I never once was like, Drake.
You ain't never do this?
But it was never personal to me. It was always like, okay, yeah, you're shining light on my city, on my community, but I was never once like, Drake. That never made me feel good.
Right.
Let me ask this question though. How do we, as a hip hop community, because I feel like the biggest things are always involved around some violence or some beef. Right, like the newest music, drill, you know what I'm saying, with the whole New York, always like, guns, killing, people getting locked up. Those are always the biggest stories. So like, how do we move forward as a culture, and how do we actually try to change that?
Well, I think this is a great segue to our last topic behind the headlines, right? And that's Quavo takeoff. So I feel like let's go to break and then let's pick it up right there. That's a great segue.
That's a great segue.
Yeah.
Okay, don't go anywhere because we have more behind the headlines after this short break.
Great question, amazing question. You know, we talk about valuing ourselves as a culture, right? Brandon, you brought up Takeoff, right? Passed away due to gun violence, was killed, right? Due to gun violence out in public. Atlanta right now is in such a great position, I feel like, for music, for rap. Young Thug was released, Wafin Lucci has been released. You got Quavo right now, he's getting ready to drop a single, Trapper Rapper, on Friday, in which he dropped a preview to it, but he was paying homage to T.I. Do y'all remember that Big Ish popping, Lil Ish stopping from the T.I. versus Tip album?
I mean, I remember the song, I don't remember the visual, but.
So the visual, like, he was like doing T.I. was doing push-ups and saying like, hey, you know, like, don't forget about where we from. Or
that's where that came from?
Yeah, that's where that was like,
okay.
loser gotta perform, a loser gotta clean the bus.
Right.
But it was the old T.I.P. that won it. T.I.P. no chains on, no glasses. He was doing, matter of fact, he wasn't doing like the regular push-ups. He had the weights going up.
Right.
You know, and this is what Quavo basically mimicked in this release. So my question to you guys is Quavo stepping into ATL legend territory with Trapper Rapper, or does he still have a long way to go before even getting to that point? And I definitely want to still keep like that range of your question, Khalid. That was great. But I want to kind of start off there first.
Well, honestly, when I saw that video, I'm gonna be transparent here, I kind of sympathize for him in a weird way because, losing your brother to gun violence, and then going off on your own as a solo artist for the first time, and obviously that was happening before, right? Takeoff and Quavo broke off from Offset, and they were going to do their own thing. So we still don't know publicly what was going on there. But then this happens, and now you see someone who I like and admire, and I think is dope, not only as a person, but also as a creative, trying to find their way through it, right? And so that's what came up for me, just seeing how he's fighting to take his career to another level and trying to figure out his own lane. And for me, if I'm being honest, I don't know if he's hit it yet, right? So I can't wait to hear this album because that's what I want to hear, Kayla. I want to hear like, yo, did he find that lane? Because the one of his solo albums, I was like, this ain't it, if I'm being honest. But we know he has it. Like them three together was just magic, right? Like there's just something special about Quavo, his flair, his sound, how he can just put a little something on a song and it's like that made the song. So I want to give Quavo his flowers because like you said, going through something so traumatic and having to come out on the other side and still be the same creative is a hard ask for anyone. And to your point too, there is an issue with the culture where people are still dying at the hands of gun violence, and then we still turn around and glorify the music that then glorifies those same actions. So it is a tough position to be in, but Quavo is a friend of mine. We linked up at Super Bowl. I saw him at All-Star this past weekend. He played a couple of songs from the album in the party bus, and I'm so proud of him. Like I feel like he doesn't get credit for his pen in a way that he should. And I had my homegirls with me, and it was like songs that you want to dance to, songs that you want to sit and listen to. I think it's going to be a really, really good project. I also have to commend him. A lot of people don't know this. Quavo is really a businessman. Like he's in a lot of those rooms that you really wouldn't expect him to be in. You know what I mean? He's at the Fanatics events. He's at the poker games and the what did Taylor Brooks host? It was with was Draymond or was James Harden? It was D-Wade. Well, James, she played James in the last room. What is that called? Not poker. Dominoes, blackjack. Okay, maybe it is poker. Whatever game it is. Yeah. He's at all of these events because I feel like he is trying to do the right thing. You know what I mean? Spades. Yeah, that's a big thing. D-Wade always does that. He's trying to do the right thing. Like it's hard to, I think, be a rapper and be a part of the culture, but then also just not be too deep in the streets. So shout out to him. I think the album is going to be great. Hopefully y'all like it too.
I think one of the main things, and you kind of look at the track record of artists, right? If you look through history of the artists that last a long time, right? There's two main things, and I could even break it down from groups going into the individual person who decided to break away from the group, et cetera, et cetera. The main thing is, and what do we always say? What did you say? Numbers, right? Bro need a certified hit. You know what I'm saying? As just Quavo himself. Migos had certified hits. So analytically, musically, like he just needs a hit on his own. But then also too, most of the artists, we talk about T.I.'s and Jay-Z's and whoever else. Most of these guys get into, you was talking about being in those rooms, businesses and stuff like that. So I think he needs to, whatever that brand, I don't know what Quavo's brand is. You get what I'm saying? Kendrick, I know Kendrick.
I know his brand.
What?
I think Quavo's brand is a rock star.
No. I'm not even
literal.
I'm not even saying
brand.
in that aspect, bro. Most artists, they start a label, they start a big clothing line. Rihanna with Fenty.
Oh, okay.
Those artists that get to that T.I. level, it's some type of business that goes even beyond that artist, beyond the music too.
How do you
so it's
get
not
there,
just
though?
a music thing. You get what I'm saying?
How do you get there? Like, is it through?
I'm telling you, like, you have to. It's businesses. You have to go beyond music. Whether that's acting, whether that's starting your makeup line, whatever that is, it has to be something outside of music eventually. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know what's interesting about Quavo, and I will say this, I know Quavo as well, but maybe we can tag team this and ask him to come on the show and as his album is dropping to peel back these layers and have this conversation and potentially play the album for all of us, for you guys to hear. But I wouldn't be surprised if Quavo does something in sports. Like, he knows sports and he's an athlete. Like, he grew up playing sports. So when I think about Quavo, I don't think he can be an actor, because when you were talking, I was like, damn, maybe Quavo go into acting, but I'm like, nah, I think I seen him in a few things, like, nah, that ain't it. Yeah, I'm like, I don't know about acting. But sports for sure, and then also, like you say, he is a business dude, and I think that's what you do. You just go out there and try things, and you figure it out. Like, okay, what do I like? What am I passionate about? How can I make the world better? And then you start leaning in there. And he is one of those cats that I think about Quavo as an artist, but I think about Quavo as a dude that's going to transcend hip hop, right? I'm always looking for those athletes and artists that's going to transcend what they do. Are you going to transcend the field, the court? Can you do something outside of the booth? He's gonna figure it out. But before he do, I think there's so much more in music for him. That's what I'm excited about. I'm not even concerned about his business and what he's gonna do, in the next couple of years or after music. I want to see that. That's what I want to see. That's why I'm excited about this album.
Yeah. Has Atlanta produced, and I actually want to ask a question after I get to this one, but has Atlanta produced some of the top 5 greatest rappers of all time?
No. but you know what's interesting? Atlanta has been the most influential region, and Khalid, you can jump in here. Over the last 20 to 25 years, like everything came through Atlanta. Why are you looking like that? Yeah, okay, we got our sound guy. What's your name, sir? I'm sorry. Caesar. Down. No, Caesar been around. Damn, that's me. Caesar, I thought you was looking at me like, okay, yeah, I know I'm right. Khalid, a music guy?
For sure.
Who has it now? Is it the West Coast that have it now?
Nah, it's
still Atlanta? Wow.
Nah, I say Memphis.
Memphis is hard right now, but it does sound, but here's the thing, I heard somebody say this. They were breaking down the Kendrick and Drake battle right now, and they talked about, like what Kendrick did is so dope, but you can't teach that, you can't scale that. So that's why, like, all right, it's not the West Coast moment right now, because a mustard beat, when you think about a mustard, this is not my words. I don't want to take this like, oh yeah, Brandon, whatever he's saying. This is someone in hip hop that was breaking this down. Like, to do what he did on the mustard beat, not everybody can do that, right? What Drake has done, a lot of people can take that. He's creating waves and trends. Now, I'm saying that because, it was, you guys are saying Atlanta still have that, which is interesting to me. But Memphis, y'all got a little pocket, but I look at that the same way as the West Coast. Like, I don't think that's scalable, though. because everybody don't have that accent.
Yeah, it's
Money bag.
It starts and ends with Glorilla. So.
And money.
Money bag.
Need money, no.
The whole CMG label. Oh my goodness. See, that's what me.
Need
That's
money,
what me
no.
and Kayla different.
That is a reach.
That's what
No,
we
I
did.
love bags.
I do too, bags.
And he also,
I've never heard of anybody call him that. Sorry. What do I know? I'm just saying, Kendrick, Tupac, what are we talking about? West Coast rap.
I want to go back.
Snoop Dogg.
So we start today, right now, though.
Of all time, you said.
Okay, all right.
It wasn't the question of all time.
yeah, that's crazy. Top 5.
Going back though, because I do want to make sure like that we're on point. Because I want to stay in that pocket, Khalid, like what you brought up to even get us into this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Do a lot of rappers make a mistake of not getting too deep off in the business and then getting too deep off in the rap, and that's how they end up getting in trouble, or that's how they end up messing their own sales up or messing their brands
It's
up?
changed. It's changed. Athletes and artists from the culture are smarter today. We're more sophisticated, right? The reason why you got content out there, we're seeing how the Magic Johnsons are moving and they're talking about it. We're seeing how Jay-Z is moving and he's talking about it. All you gotta do is listen to his albums. Yeah. So the athlete and artist in the culture, where we come from, they're smarter, they're more sophisticated. So yes, we still have that on both sides, sports and also music, where we're making some dumb decisions. And that's in any culture, right? But now you're seeing, like what Kayla talked about, you're seeing dudes like Quavo pop up in certain rooms like, oh, okay, I see how you moving. Are you seeing athletes, launch agencies, production companies, VCs, like look what KD is doing with Boardroom. Yeah. Boardroom is a great media platform, but you know where their business is? They invest in tech. Yeah. That's what they're investing in, right? They're Silicon Valley dominating. Yeah. Like he's at Coinbase. You know how much money KD has made off the court? So I say that because that's how I feel about it, Khalid. I don't know, you're like in it. You're in the street, right? You're in the the club. So I don't know how you're seeing it, but I feel like guys are evolving.
The way I see it is just like it's just a little bit of both, and the best thing we can do is really just learn from other people's mistakes. That's what I think. Right? Like one of the most amazing things I think I've seen was having a conversation with Lil Baby, and he was just talking about
with who?
Lil Baby.
Baby, okay.
With
you gotta say
he was talking about the Young Thug stuff, and he was saying how he learned like the whole 4PF or how they was like trying to get them from a gang. He was saying that the feds was on him. But once he changed, he was like, yo, this is not a game. We're changing this from 4PF into it actually means something, et cetera, et cetera. Now they're off of them. You know what I'm saying? So he just learned from mistakes. So from other people's mistakes, though. Yeah. And I feel like a lot of people like to bump their heads themselves. Me, though, you tell me once, I'm gonna take your advice and I'm gonna be like, all right, bet. Yeah, because I don't, you know what I mean? But some people like to experience themselves. I don't know.
I'm the dude that be on that viral video, be like, yep, that's me. A lot of y'all are wondering how I got here.
That is a mess. That is a mess. All right, y'all. Well, that is this week's episode of REVOLT Sports Weekly, powered by I'm Athlete. We will catch you next time.